Mhm. All right, hi everybody. Talking about this explosion that happened a few days ago over in Beirut, Lebanon. All right. I'll tell you, when I first heard about it, it was probably about 3 days ago. Um, my friend who works at the store, he knows I know about 9/11. He knows that I know the truth about mass media and their lying and stuff. And he says, "Hey, Donnie, did you hear about that explosion in Beirut?" And I was like, "Nah, I didn't hear about it yet. I didn't know about it. I didn't know that." And probably later that day, when I was on YouTube, I had seen a bunch of stories on it. Now, I didn't watch these. I didn't watch none of them yet. I just been knowing that there was an explosion because I've been seeing the thumbnails and the story headlines that there was an explosion. But I really hasn't looked into them yet. I didn't start looking into this is explosion until today, and there was some several red flags that went off in my spirit when I was looking into this. As you can see, that I have #11 along with this video because there are some 9/11 references that I will like to bring up. Now, mass media. Let me bring up the 9/11 part of it. All right. So this is my watch history. If you can see these videos, if you want to watch them, go ahead. And I don't remember which videos were in it. Okay, or which video, what I'm about to say. But in at least two of these videos, two separate videos, there was a reference to 9/11. The first was a reporter saying how this was like Beirut's and Lebanon's 9/11. Okay, so that stuck out. The other video, there was a guy talking and he had a translator, and the translator, so I don't know if the translator's correct. The translator said that it's like their own 9/11. So I heard that from two different news outlets, this 9/11 reference. And I got to thinking about it a little more, and they're saying ammonium nitrate because the official story is ammonium nitrate exploded. Sure, was that what caused the explosion? Could be. All right, but I mean, something has to ignite it. Something has to set that off. Okay, and there's reports that it was a fireworks factory and it caught fire, then it exploded. Okay, but let's talk about ammonium nitrate for a minute. I started with ammonium nitrate, and the first thing that popped in my head while thinking about ammonium nitrate was the first letter A in ammonia, and the second letter N in nitrate. A represents 1, and N is the 19th letter in the alphabet. So we got 119. We want to break it down into numbers. That's 9/11 backwards. So we know how they like to put things backwards. And listen, I wasn't thinking anything about 9/11 until I heard those two news stories talk about how this is Beirut's 9/11. And that just made me look at this a little bit closer. All right. The sad part here is a lot of people are dead, and a lot of people are injured, and a lot of people are homeless. A lot of people are going to starve because that explosion took out their grain silo. The country's grain was stored right there at the port. Okay. I think this was planned. I think this was a planned explosion. I think this was planned. I've only just started to look into this. Okay. I've only just started to look into the explosion, so this is supposedly from a cell phone video. All right. I just took a quick screenshot of it, in the midst of it exploding, because that's in the middle of it exploding. There's like that mushroom cloud just after that mushroom, the shock wave is coming. This is supposedly the shock wave, this is the video, I guess, but, so either way, there was this big explosion, right? Now, here's a question. Why would the mainstream media immediately start reporting that it was just an industrial accident and that, oh, there was a fire and the fireworks and that's what set off the ammonium nitrate? How could you even report that yet? As it's happening, like, how could you even report that? Like, the place was still burning for days afterwards. Seems like a nuclear predictive programming to me. Yeah. So they say that there was 2,500 tons of ammonium nitrate. 2,500 tons that exploded. So this is according to this people, but we won't going to do that. This is a blast radius. The smaller circle represents damage, like from I don't know, but up to 10 kilometers away is, I think they felt the blast. I don't even know. But apparently all these people broken windows, you know. It's just I'm just looking into this, but I've already come across some 9/11 references. All right, and the news is reporting that Lebanon is basically destroyed now. They're not going to be able to recover from this. Let's think about their neighbors for a minute. Let's talk about Lebanon's neighbors. You have Israel to the south, and to the east, you have Syria. All right. So they're surrounded by their enemy over there. And then to the west is the Mediterranean Sea. So, and it's a small little country. And the city is destroyed. And not only that, so people are homeless, but not only that, their food supply, the grain silo got blown to smithereens also. So they don't got no power, they got no food, they got nowhere to live. And there's a lot of people injured, a lot of people missing. And of course, we know a lot of people dead. It's a sad situation for the people of Lebanon. And from what I have been seeing in the mainstream media, they are purposely trying to tell us that there's a 9/11 connection. All right. So I'm new to this. If you guys know anything that I don't know, you can start posting videos in the comments. Whether you do it in the live or if you're watching this later, you can post it in the comments below. All right. So it's not a good situation. So if they're saying that it's like Lebanon's 9/11, you're going to see a bunch of people lose their rights. Now, I don't know really what the rights of the people of Lebanon are, but I'm pretty sure restrictions are going to get much tighter. But right now, I mean, right now it's survival mode. You got millions of people in this country that are in survival mode right now over there. I mean, like desperate now. All right, desperate. All right. That's not a good situation. You know, there's so much evil going on. And it does. It makes me wonder why the Lord allows it. I wonder why the Lord allows such evil. But I know Scripture does say that He maketh the good and the bad, the good and the evil. But I've only just begun to look into this situation with Lebanon, and I just got so why I just got wound up once I started seeing these 9/11 references, especially ammonium nitrate. A represents 1, nitrate represents 19, AN. All right, it's 119. It's 9/11 backwards. Those two news stories talking about how it's their 9/11. It's not good. So I would, I haven't seen nobody else's video on this. I don't know if like Richie from Boston or Call for an Uprising. I don't know if any of those other channels have done a story about the explosion yet. I haven't seen nothing like that. But I've probably watched maybe 5 or 6 mainstream news media coverage of it where they show clips of supposed now they could be real. I hope they're real, but somebody mentioned they could be doctored too, because in this day and age it's hard to know whether a video has been doctored or not. But it just why would the mainstream media be telling people that this is their 9/11 when okay, because supposedly, think about this for a minute, people here. If the mainstream media is saying that this is like their 9/11, then it was a terrorist attack. Then it was a planned thing because we can agree that 9/11 was a terrorist attack. Now, depending on who you ask, is going to tell you who was it. Was it some Middle Eastern people? No, it wasn't. It was an inside job. All right, it was our own government. So we know that. So if they're saying that, and they're saying it's the Lebanon government, their own people who did it to them. But first off, why would you even want to compare a supposed industrial accident to a terrorist thing like 9/11? It just doesn't make sense here. And it just got me looking at this a little bit deeper here. So it looks to me like 9/11, I don't know. Think about it. 9/11 was 19 years ago. 19 years ago. Okay. Well, just about 19 years. Next month is 19 years. But still, 19 years, you know? It just, it's very early. I've only started to look into this today, to really start to look at the mainstream media, what they're putting out, because the mainstream media loves to repeat themselves on different networks in the same way. All right. So Danielle says, looks like 9/11. It looks like a demolition. Red CGI smoke. It was Nagasaki all over again. So Adrian says it was Nagasaki all over again. Let's talk about the nuclear weapons for a moment. Okay, there is no splitting of atoms. Okay, let's get this straight to anybody that doesn't know this. Atoms do not exist. Okay, little neutrons and the protons, and then you can split the uranium and then it makes the explosion. No, 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 people. Get that out of your head. There's no atoms. Now, this was definitely a Nagasaki incident. They got really big bombs, okay? I ain't gonna dispute that. They got things that go boom on a huge scale. They tell us that it's because it's a nuclear bomb and you're splitting the atom or you're harnessing the energy from one little. That doesn't make no sense. Okay, the bigger the explosion, the more fuel you need for that explosion. All right, they're reporting that there was 2,500 tons. Okay, 2,500 tons of that stuff. So it was definitely it was a Nagasaki all over again. It was, but it wasn't no nuclear blast like they claim. I don't believe in nuclear weapons. That's not what they have. All right, because there is no atoms. All right? There is no little nucleus and proton going around electrons, and they don't. None of that's real. Right? They want us to be afraid of a nuclear holocaust. Right. No, I ain't gonna lie. They got really big bombs. Yeah, they got bombs that can level cities. But just like as we've seen, if you pack 2,500 pounds of ammonium nitrate, you can destroy a city. All right. So 2,500 tons isn't that much, people. That's one ship. Think about it. It was in the shipyard when it exploded. Now, the mainstream media is saying it was a warehouse. Could have been at the warehouse. But also, 2,500 tons can easily be on a ship. All right. Ships can hold tens and thousands of tons. And we're talking 2,500 tons. So if a blast like this can be caused from just 2,500 tons, no, that's a lot. But you got to understand how big ships are. Okay. Because the only reason why it's there is because it got shipped in as a storage, is what they're saying. So this was a long time in planning, just like it was a long time in planning with 9/11. Think they just woke up one day and decided that's what they were going to do? No, that took years. It took years. But like I said, I've just only begun looking into this. But right now, I've been finding some really good. If you're asleep, you're not going to catch it. But if you know what to look for, the mainstream media is putting out 9/11 references to this. All right. So Adrian says red CGI smoke. Yeah, I seen the video of the red smoke as it was, but it was different. Like there was red smoke here, then there was a gray smoke here, then there was a black smoke. But I mean, I knew when I looked at the now, some people are might be calling it a CGI smoke, that the explosion never happened. But I really think explosion did. Now, I could be totally wrong on that. I could be totally wrong on whether an explosion happened, but I think that an explosion has happened. But when I seen the cloud of the red, I immediately knew that it was before, like, I didn't know what they were calling it. I didn't know what they were blaming it on. But when I seen the different colors smoke, I immediately knew that something that was highly chemical, like some kind of chemical, was involved in that explosion. Now, what it is, they're claiming it's ammonium nitrate and the fertilizer. So let's think about ammonium nitrate for a moment. If you start to look up ammonium nitrate explosions, why in the world is this stuff even still available? Because when you look that up, you will see that has been blamed on several explosions that have basically devastated huge areas. This isn't the first ammonium nitrate explosion. Who knows? It's early to tell, and they'll put it out there. They'll put it out there what the truth is. Now we just got to look for it. But either way, we know that the aftermath of 9/11 wasn't good for our country. All right, so this isn't going to be good for their country either. You know, they're in the middle of the craziest war. Basically, not far away is Damascus in Syria. All right, Syria, like this whole region is war torn. All right, because we're talking about right here. All right, this is the part of the country or the world right here. We're talking right here. Hi, Elise. How are you? So we already know this is a very war-torn area, and the mass media has already been. These videos I've been watching are like the day of or the day after, and they were already reporting before the fires are already out that it was just a fireworks factory let off 2,500 tons of fertilizer. I mean, who knows? But either way, it's not good. Now, I had seen a short clip of Donald Trump talking about this. Now, let me get this straight. Donald Trump, I'm really pissed off at you for creating the Space Force. And, like, come on, like, really? Because that's where you lost my respect. When you gave money to NASA and created the Space Force, you lost my respect. But Donald Trump has been doing a good job at talking about fake news. All right. I have to, say, all right, he's brought that fact up. Now, he doesn't really elaborate that much, into the flight. He doesn't really go that deep into the fake news. He just gives you the surface of it. Okay. But at least he has given the American public, the ability to realize that, yeah, there is fake news outlets out there. So Donald Trump said that he's a little suspicious of this whole situation and he's looking into it. That makes me feel a little bit better, but also it makes me kind of feel kind of bad like, oh no, I'm looking into it too. And Donald Trump so far has been the only other person I have heard said they are looking into like this to see if there was foul play involved here. So Donald Trump is looking into this if there's foul play. That surprised me, but he knows about the fake news. So, I mean, you know, for a long time he was against the COVID, but he caved on that too. So I did see a clip of Donald Trump saying, "Oh, there could have been foul play." So, which is, good that he said that because people need to look into what that little clip of him saying, you know, because that's because no one else is saying that. I haven't heard no one else um, give a different reasoning of why this happened, except for Donald Trump. But I mean, I was already thinking all these red flags. I was already thinking, there's got to be a bigger issue here. There's got to be something else. And I did spot the 9/11 thing. So if you start to watch these um, mass media reports, you're going to hear that reference. Yeah. So this guy says Trump said it was an attack. Yeah. So you can YouTube that. You can look up. Like I said, even though I heard about this a few days ago, I didn't watch any videos on it. Yeah, they popped up in my feed, and I just scrolled by them, and then I see a new story, I just scroll by it. But it wasn't until this morning that I started to look into it, and I was like, I started to find what was bothering me about it because I get red flags in my spirit, right? And I started getting red flags in my spirit, and that's what drew my attention to look into this. And doesn't look like it was just an accident. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't look like some accident at all. So Danielle says they have to put it out there so they can pretend they've washed their hands of the deceit. You're right. That is an excellent point. They have to put it out there so that they can pretend they've washed their hands of the deceit. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Hmm. So anyway, but everybody, if you're watching this later, or if you have come across anything you want to share the videos or your comments later. Okay. Um, I wish I had the all the know-how to show you a video like right here, and show you what I'm talking about and what I've come across. I wish I had that know-how how to that and show you what I'm talking about. So to get around that, what I'll do is I will post some news stories in the comments, so people can click on, and I'll let you guys do the same. So Elise says, everything that makes worldwide news gives me red flags. Yeah. Yep. That's a good point. So, all right, everybody. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming by. And I'm not going to end it just yet. I'm going to stay on for another minute. But I don't. What's going on in the world is absolutely crazy. Let's talk about ammonium nitrate. Maybe we shouldn't have that product anymore. All right. Maybe farmers shouldn't use that anymore. Now, let's talk about that for a moment. This just came to me. I just thought about this part. This ammonium nitrate makes me want to not use it. Like we shouldn't use it, right? So that means the farmers would have to stop using it. right? If the farmers stop using the ammonium nitrate, that's going to cause even more food shortage because the seeds that continue to grow each year are accustomed to having ammonium nitrate in their soil. So if we start, I'm sure there's going to be some regulations that are going to be wanting to be passed over the substance of ammonium nitrate. I guarantee that some regulations and banning of ammonium nitrate, that's what they're going to do, right? They're going to ban ammonium nitrate. So if they ban it, the farmers ain't going to be able to grow the numbers of the amount of crops that they've been used to. So I just thought about that, and that makes sense, right? To me, that makes sense. I don't know about you guys, but it makes sense to me. Oh, somebody text me. Let's see what's up. So I just thought about that. So they might their next move might be to try to ban ammonium nitrate, which all the farmers use. Like it's like almost every country, their farmers use ammonium nitrate in their soil as a fertilizer to grow crops. So if they ban this, that just means even a larger food supply shortage. Now, are they going to go that route? I don't know. You know, I just had that thought. I was just thinking they should ban it, right? Oh, they should ban ammonium nitrate. Then as soon as I thought that, I was like, wait a second. The farmers use it. That's what they use it for. That happens. There's a bigger food shortage because the soil is not going to be able to produce what it's producing pumped up on ammonium nitrate. I don't know. It's just a sad situation. Just a sad situation over in Lebanon right now. So the agency says we can use Gatorade instead. Right. Pour a bunch of Gatorade all over the fields. So, this is the beginning stages. I'm sure there's more coming out of this. Yeah, just like Idiocracy. Then now that's a great movie. If anybody has not seen the movie Idiocracy, that's 2020, really. I mean, that's the millennial generation that we have right now. That's our generation. That's a good one. Yeah. But I just find this Beirut situation awful sketchy. There's a lot of red flags that are going off in my spirit over this one. Yeah, so Idiocracy was 2000 when that came out. And that's basically how we are, right? Of the book and movie 1984, basically. So Idiocracy has a lot of similarities to 1984. Hey, Santo, how are you? Santo, you're just getting here. I was talking about the 9/11 connection that I've been starting to see with the ammonium nitrate, AN, which is A is 1, that N for nitrate is 19, 119, 9/11. And they also been pushing it in the news stories. So Lee says, I had a doctor's appointment the other day. Doctor never heard of the mark of the beast. I always wondered how people don't see that we are in end times, but some people don't know the signs. You're right. There's a lot of people who don't know signs and symbols, and there's a lot of people that don't know what the Bible says. There's a lot of people that have no idea what Scripture has to say. Yep. It's pretty crazy what's going on. But anyway, everybody, so that's all I want to come talk about right now. I'll come live probably later today to do a Let's Talk Live, but I just really wanted to concentrate on the explosion on this live. That is a flat Earth map. That map is from 1593. So I got someone just popping in here. I'm not finished with it. That map is it's from 1593. It's from Gerard de Jode. And it's not a globe. It's a flat map. So, but it's programmed in your head when you see a circle to think a sphere. All right. So imagine you're up here on God's throne looking on the earth on a flat plane. So we had somebody else just jump in here talking about my flag. What I really need to do is extend it. The map only shows that much, okay? I should continue to draw and paint out the rest, but no. This map that I copied it from is from 1593. So if anybody's watching it and has questions about what this map is, the map maker, his name is Gerard de Jode, and you can look it up. But yeah, I've had a few people mistake that as a globe, but it's not. All right, it's not a globe. That's the map that shows that far. It's flat. So this is a flat surface. Okay, water's level. Water doesn't curve around stuff. But it's a different live. I just wanted to make this one about the explosion. So I'll come live probably later today. We'll do a Let's Talk Live because there's some more. I do want to give some more announcements. I'm not going to spoil them right now, but I have some more announcements that some more achievements that I've been working hard towards finally happened. So it's a little milestone, but to me it's a big milestone. But there's some other news I would like to talk about. So I'll do that later tonight. So thanks for coming by.